take us back to how this all started?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about the golf because it will help in that, in terms of standing on a lesson tee, not being able to swing because of the incident. And I'll tell you about the incident, but being able to stand on the lesson tee, teaching when I wanted to be playing, but physically not being able to swing a club, and watching guys and gals, mostly guys, be so frustrated and so confused about their golf swing, and standing on a range being like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Can I just take you on the golf course and can I just teach you how to score? Because you've been taught great technique about the golf swing, but you have no idea how to score. Like, no one's ever showed you how to strategize a golf course with what you have. Like, that's what you have today. Look, it might suck, but I suck too. I have bad golf swings, but I can manage a golf course really well. So really that's kind of came from the journey of, I was playing professionally, just signed a 3-year sponsorship, was heading out to go to Q school for the Canadian tour that February, and went on my honeymoon. And on my honeymoon, the last day of my honeymoon, the Asian tsunami wiped out the hotel that we were in with my wife and I inside of it, and got washed out to sea, and spent a day out at sea, basically waiting to be get to a hospital. With My wife had triple pelvic fracture. I had a few broken bones and some bad injuries. Literally, I mean, the short version, saw the last, breathed my last breath, and that was it. And my life was over. And amazingly, I popped up in the middle of the ocean. A guy by the name of Marcus Melberg pulled us out of the water, put us on a little long-tail boat, and we spent 10 hours watching an island be destroyed by multiple tsunamis, the remaining waves, and then spent 31 days in hospital in Thailand. Came back to America, couldn't play golf, started coaching, and then went back and tried to play golf, but just didn't really play very well and was in a lot of pain. And so one day I just wrote down on a piece of paper, if I'm going to stop doing this, if I'm not, if my passion was to play, I want to play for a living. If I'm going to stop doing this, I want to revolutionize golf instruction worldwide. So I wrote that down on a piece of paper, still have it to this day. And my thought behind that was, results in golf should be guaranteed. I don't understand why they're not guaranteed. Everything in America is guaranteed. You don't like that dinner? Hey, no worries. We'll give you a free one. You don't like that? I'll go buy plants and I'll kill a plant, like literally kill it because I'm so good at killing plants. And then they'll be like, oh, don't worry, bring it back and we'll refund it. I'm like, no, I killed it. I did. No worries. But golf instruction is like, well, you've done 14 lessons and your grip feels terrible and you're not playing well. And keep coming back. And I'm like, what the heck? So my vision was like, what if we just started to guarantee results for golfers? What if we said to them, let me learn how you play the game of golf and help you improve with what you have? And I'll guarantee you that if you get there, if you don't, I'll teach you for free. But what that did was it put me into the coaching mindset, which was, no, you're not going to tell me you're going to work on driver. Your driver sucks. I agree with that. But it sucks because you shouldn't be hitting it. Like, what you should be doing is hitting a hybrid and putting it in play and working on your short game and working on your putter. And once we get to 83, then we need to work on driver, because to break 80, you have to have distance. So, like, to me, it was sort of this thing of like, I got in control by becoming a coach and telling people that, like, look, I'm not going to give you what you're asking for because you don't know what you're asking for. It doesn't make any sense. You want to hit driver better, but you hit it maybe 12 times around, but you hit your putter 41 times around. Like how about we just try and take 10 strokes off your putting? So yeah, that was really the journey for me. Is like, I had no intention of ever being a coach, no intention of ever doing the scoring method, no intention of ever coaching coaches around the world. Just wanted to play. And well, God had a different plan, and I'm glad he did. So
Man, I mean, there's never going to be anyone that has a story like that. That is absolutely wild, and you chose to make it positive. I mean, most people would have that experience and they would let that dictate their entire life, and I mean, rightfully so. I mean, I don't know how many people actually have that story. So the fact that you did it and then found a way to turn it into this amazing business that's helping players and in the corporate world, I mean, that just like kudos to you, man. I'm just trying to figure out how that like all like what that 30 days looked like. Were you awake? What kind of injuries did you have? How was that affecting your mindset? Like your wife is right there too. I'm just trying to figure out how that is starting to reshape your entire life.
yeah, so we after we got out of the water, we were sent to a hospital in Phuket, which had no medication. It'd been been 15 hours so since the wave had happened, so all the medication was gone. So my wife had a triple pelvic fracture, and she was being given Advil
Oh
for
my
for about
gosh.
a day and a half until we got medically evacuated. I'd broken my shoulder and a lot of puncture wounds from all the wood and metal getting stuck in us, and a really bad concussion and a really bad neck injury. And yeah, we went up there and we got all sorts of infections from the water and stuff like this. So just craziness. But yeah, 31 days in hospital. My wife couldn't walk for about 6 weeks. And yeah, just being in hospital, watching a death toll go from 5,000 to 50,000 to 100,000 to 200,000 to 238,000 people. And then you think about it and you go like, well, what am I going to do that's going to be something that could impact the lives of those people that didn't get to live? Like they didn't get to
Hmm.
live, I did, you know? And so that was sort of my driving force. And I thought that was go back and play professional golf and share that message, but
Hmm.
it wasn't. You know, it was go out there and help people play this silly game that we all love, but we all struggle with, and learn how to play it. Because what I see is most people are trying to perfect it and they're miserable because they're trying to perfect the game. And it's like, there's one thing I can guarantee you for sure in life. You say, oh, taxes. No, you'll never perfect golf. No one ever will. Like taxes, you can avoid taxes. Do you know what I'm saying? You can run away to another country. I don't know, move to Monte Carlo. Do you know what I'm saying? But I tell you,
Hmm.
never perfect golf. So if you try and perfect it, you're going to be miserable and you're going to be frustrated. So I'm on a golf course watching people be pissed off and frustrated. And I'm not telling them, I told no one for about 5 or 6 years. I would share with very few people about the tsunami. I just didn't want to be
Hmm.
that guy that, oh, I lived through a tsunami. It's like, oh, I didn't, that's not, I had
Hmm.
no control over that. But when
So
I
you
saw,
went back to teaching, just so
well, a good
obviously
friend of
the
mine.
pro golf, you tried the pro golf, you said that wasn't working, and then went into teaching. So you did 5, 6 years before the scoring method even became a thing.
Yeah, so yeah, I went in and I just went out there on the course and I said to the guys, I took 16 guys and I said, look, I'll guarantee you whatever result you want. If you put the commitment and you come practice with me and I'm going to play
Hmm.
golf with you, it's like a college golf team. We'll just get after it. And I had guys never touch a club, breaking 100 within the first 10 weeks. I had guys shooting 120, and it's all videoed. All of this is testimonials, right? 120 units shooting 81, right? Guys that are shooting 96 shoot 76. Guys shooting 77 shoot 69, all coming out and getting coaching, just all out there and playing. But all I was doing was what I see in most golfers is their golf swings, the golf swing of a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 handicap. Their short game's a 29 handicap, and the way they think is a 50 handicap. So my thing is if I could get you to think better, train more effectively, and then teach you how important the short game is, and then you just use what you have, I'll get you to your potential. And then at that point, if you want to get better, we probably need to start working on a little bit more technique because you need more
Hmm.
distance, so you need to get rid of the slice. It's not that we don't work on technique, it's just I'm just not gonna. If I came into a business and I saw that there was $150,000 of waste happening, I wouldn't try and sell $150,000 more product. I just cut $150,000 of the waste. You know what I mean? So it's just trying to be effective. You're just trying to go in there and work with what people have, and then build that trust that when they do go from shooting a 105 to an 89 and they're super happy, and then you say, you know what, if you want to get consistently to the low 80s, you kind of got to start to work a little bit on that swing path and that face
Hmm.
because you're losing so much distance that you can't be a +3 handicap with your short game. Like it's just not going to happen. But if I could get you to be a little bit more consistent, so it's not that we never work on technique or swing. It's
Hmm.
just rarely. I mean, I've got videos of guys and where the scoring method really came from, guys with the worst golf swings you've ever seen, but they were great scorers. I mean, they
Hmm.
could get the ball in the hole, right?
Yeah.
That to me is like, what would you prefer to be, Lee Trevino or Adam Scott, right?
Mm.
It's like Lee won a lot more majors than Adam, but Adam's got a more beautiful golf swing. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, who'd you prefer to be? Arnold Palmer with the crazy follow through, or would you prefer to be Ludwig? Well, Ludwig hasn't won a major yet. Arnold had won a lot by, so it's
Hmm.
like, it's one of those things of beautiful golf swings don't win tournaments. Getting the ball in the hole in less strokes wins tournaments. So I just try and bring that to amateur golfers. And most of the great friends of mine that are pros, they all work with tour players and they all want to work with tour players. I have no desire to work with a tour player. I want to work with people that are no good at golf but love it and wish they were better.
Hmm.
And they know they could be better, but they've just been sort of told this, I think, a bit of a, I don't know if it's called a lie, but it's like, well, if we get your swing technique, then you won't mess up. Okay, so Adam Scott shoots 68 on Saturday at the US Open this year with the most beautiful golf swing on the planet. It's the best I've ever seen him hit it. And then on Sunday, he shoots 80. So you're trying to tell me he lost his golf swing? Or did the tension increase because of expectations, because he'd love to win a second major and get in the Hall of Fame? And then he tightened up a little bit. While JJ Spawn was like, well, I'm playing like crap through 5 holes. I might as well just go and freewheel it. That's what his coach said to him. Stop freaking trying so hard. And he
Hmm.
went out, freewheeled it, and won the US Open, right? So it's this crazy game that it's like the harder you try, the worse you suck. And I know that for a living because when I turned professional, I tried really hard and I
Yeah.
sucked. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Hmm.
how do you help your golfer become what I call player B or the second ball pro? Because you do it on the
Hmm.
second one, you hit it right down the middle. You made the birdie putt. But on the first one, you
Always.
came nowhere close. Well, why is that? The first one, you're trying, you're thinking, you're nervous, you're tight, you're tense. And on the second one, you just swing it. You just react. Right. So that's where people get frustrated with golf is I know it's inside of me. Because you wouldn't be frustrated if you just sucked on the range, sucked in the lesson, and sucked on the first tee. You'd just be like, I'm a terrible golfer. Yep, you're a terrible golfer. But I did it great on the range on Thursday. I played 9 holes on my own on Friday afternoon after work. And then on Saturday, I couldn't make contact with it and shot 100. Like, what happened? That's the frustration. So, the whole concept of the scoring method is you don't have a technique problem, you have a tension problem. You don't know how to play golf under tension. You know how to you have decent technique. It just doesn't work when there's pressure on. And most people are told better technique and you'll be better. Better technique. Well, why do tour players choke? Because their technique is still fantastic. It's because the tension increases. So that's really what we teach is how do I get better at managing tension? Lower expectations. Stop thinking you can make par. Like you shouldn't make par. You're not that good
Hmm.
bogey, right? If you just try and make a bogey, people are like, well, I could do that. I could hit 7 iron, 7 iron off this tee. All right, cool. Hit 7 iron, 7 iron. I don't care how you do it. Just keep the ball in play. Stop putting in
Hmm.
driver. So it's very much like trying to get down to the raw problems and then solving those problems for the player at the level that they're at. And most people are watching videos that are set up to how to become a scratch golfer. And I'm trying to get people to break 100, break 90, maybe break 80. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's just a different way of looking at coaching.